Niggas talking about Luis Ortiz is scared. Luis Ortiz is a fucking Cuban. Cubans are born and bred to fight, the ones that are in boxing, right? Most Cubans don't start boxing late. Some of them do. I think Sullivan Barrera was one of them, one of the Cubans that started boxing late. Don't quote me, but I believe he's one of them. But the majority of them don't start boxing late. They start boxing at an early age, but they spend a lot of their time in the amateur circuit. These niggas will be amateurs until they 30. Case in point, Luis Ortiz. Case in point, Guillermo Rigondeaux, right? You know, Teofilio Stevenson, one of the greatest amateurs of all time, and Felix Savon, the consensus greatest amateur of all time, never even went pro. You see what I'm saying? So Cubans will stay in the amateur system, and they fight all different types of styles, all mean, big, burly, ugly motherfuckers. They fight them all. So they not scared of nobody. So this Luis Ortiz scared of Deontay Wilder is bullshit. Nigga, if I'm not scared of Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz ain't scared of Deontay Wilder. Fuck out of here with that shit, bro. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy 2K here. Well, here we are. What is it, October 5th? Less than a month out. We were supposed to be witnessing one of the most anticipated bouts of this year, one of the most intriguing matchups of this year between Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz, November 4th, right? But now we gotta settle for a motherfucking rematch of a fight that took place 2 years ago, in which there was a clear winner, no controversy. The fight wasn't even fucking close from round one between Deontay Wilder and his mandatory Bermane Stiverne, right? Now, in this video, I'm gonna give you all the facts leading up to what happened. While we not seeing Luis Ortiz, Deontay Wilder, some of this shit y'all might already know. But then I'm gonna hit you with my opinion. And y'all know how I do shit, man. I dissect it. Part of the reason why I didn't do a video on this yet was because I wanted all this shit to smooth over. I wanted it to finish. You know what I'm saying? I wanted a conclusion to this debacle. And now we got it. Now I can give you my opinion based on the facts. You know what I'm saying? This is the third fighter in which Deontay Wilder is supposed to fight, and motherfuckers end up popping hot. You know what I'm saying? Now, Luis Ortiz has popped hot before. 3 years ago, in a knockout win, which would have been Latif Coyote's first career loss, professional loss anyway, he popped hot for anabolic steroids right after the fight, right? That was in 2014. So now, a week ago, Luis Ortiz has had multiple tests, popped hot, tested him again, popped hot, right? Now, after the first test, everybody was blowing the top. Like, oh shit, nigga, was it anabolic steroids again? Was it the same shit that Povetkin was on? You know what I'm saying? Ostarine, Nandrolone. You know, what was it, dog? Man, Luis Ortiz is scared of Deontay Wilder, man. He's a fuck nigga. He a fuck boy, right? Then it turns out, literally like within days, that it's due to Luis Ortiz taking blood pressure medication to keep his blood pressure down. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, Luis Ortiz is listed at 38 years old, but y'all gotta understand with these fucking Cubans. Shout out to my nigga Bo, who's half Cuban. I always fuck with him. I always tell him he's 10 years older than what he really says he is. You know what I'm saying? But that's the truth. These Cubans defect over to America. They present somewhat of a birth certificate. A lot of these Cubans don't know their real age. You know what I'm saying? They got him listed at 38. Luis Ortiz could possibly be in his 40s. And the fact that this nigga's taking medication to keep his blood pressure down might be a testament to the fact that he's a little bit older than what we think he is. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, it's blood pressure controlling medication, right? It's not a SARM, it's not a steroid, nothing that enhances performance, right? But the WBC went ahead and canceled this fight. Now, a lot of cats out there, man, this nigga scared, bro. Man, fuck this nigga. He need to be banned for life. This shit isn't as serious as Povetkin, you know what I'm saying, popping hot twice in a 6-month span. It's not as serious as him. It's not as serious as Lucas Brown popping hot twice in an 8-month span. You know what I'm saying? It's not as serious as them two cats. This is just blood pressure medication, people. Like I said, it doesn't enhance performance or nothing like that, right? Now, I'm not saying that Luis Ortiz should get a pass. You know, he should have listed this shit, you know what I'm saying, when they were getting tested. He should say, yo, I'm taking this medication. He didn't say that that's his bad, now he can't fight, right? But my point is, stop jumping the fucking gun, man. He not taking no enhancements, you know what I'm saying, that Povetkin needed in order to not get knocked the fuck out in Russia when he was supposed to fight Wilder, right? That's not the case here, okay? Another thing, Luis Ortiz, well, let me get into that. I'll get into that in a minute. I'm about to go into my opinion. I stick with the facts, you know what I'm saying? Jay Jimenez, manager for Luis Ortiz, he came out and said, and I quote, "To clarify the Luis Ortiz situation, this is the real and only version of the current process. Mr. Suleiman, the president of the WBC, and the WBC have not suspended or removed Luis Ortiz from their rankings." That means he's still ranked number 2, right? "The WBC's decision was as follows. They did not sanction the fight based off the fact that they are worried for Luis Ortiz's health." And that makes sense because, like I said, he's listed at 38, but the nigga might not really be 38 if he's taking pills to lower his blood pressure. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, I must respect and admire their decision because I agree the fighter's health is paramount. So the WBC will schedule a visit with one of their approved physicians to check Luis Ortiz's health and make sure he's 100% healthy and fit to fight, and that the blood pressure pills will not affect him physically. End quote. Now that's what Jay Jimenez said, manager for Luis Ortiz. So that tells you right there that the WBC themselves were not saying, hey, you know, he took some performance enhancement drugs, we had to cancel the fight, now we're dropping Luis Ortiz out the rankings. That's not the case. You know what I'm saying? The WBC's, they're even, you know, backing the idea that, hey, it was just blood pressure medication, but we had to cancel the fight because we're not sure if this nigga's healthy enough to get in the ring with a guy like Deontay Wilder. Nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I back the WBC's decision 100%, right? It's unfortunate that whenever Deontay Wilder has to step up, something happens. Now we're going to get into my opinion a little bit. Something happens every time Deontay Wilder is scheduled for a step up. You know what I'm saying? To date, the best fighter on Deontay Wilder's resume is about to meet a motherfucker he about to fight November 4th. And that motherfucker not really no big name. Bermane Stiverne, right? A lot of cats don't know who Bermane Stiverne is. You know what I'm saying? Bermane Stiverne's biggest win on his motherfucking record is Chris Arreola. You know what I'm saying? Remember, Bermane Stiverne was knocked out cold once in his, well, not knocked out cold, but he was TKO'd, you know, his only loss before losing Deontay Wilder by a journeyman. You know what I'm saying? So Bermane Stiverne was never a guy that had high expectations attached to him. You see what I'm saying? He was WBC champion because he beat Chris Arreola, another motherfucker that really didn't have high expectations attached to him when he lost to Vitaly Klitschko, right? So basically what I'm saying here is, yes, he was a former champion. Yes, he's Deontay Wilder's biggest win on his resume, but he's not that big of a win to be going around flaunting. So everybody was waiting on Deontay Wilder to step up, right? And on 2 separate occasions anyway, with Povetkin and with Luis Ortiz, something happened, right? Also, here's a fact right here. understand that Lou DiBella, Al Heyman, and Eddie Hearn have all been talking about trying to make a fight with Anthony Joshua next year. Now, remember the first press conference, the one Luis Ortiz wasn't available in, right? Lou DiBella kept stating, man, Deontay Wilder is crazy as hell for taking this Luis Ortiz fight, right? He's crazy as hell. He's taking a crazy ass fucking fight, right? These are Lou DiBella's words, right? So we know, based on what Lou DiBella is telling us, that Deontay Wilder's team understands that Luis Ortiz is a bad motherfucker, and that's a risk for Deontay Wilder. A risk in which, if Deontay Wilder fucks around and loses, right, he could sacrifice an opportunity to become unified champion and beating probably the most popular heavyweight right now, and that's Anthony Joshua. You see what I'm saying? So it's a huge risk right before he's about to be guaranteed a fight with the most popular heavyweight in boxing next year. Okay. Now that's a fact. Here's my opinion. I don't think Deontay Wilder really wanted to fight Luis Ortiz, man. And I'm not saying, you know, I'm not saying, before y'all niggas come in my motherfucking comment section, I'm not saying that Deontay Wilder is ducking Luis Ortiz. I'm not saying that Deontay Wilder's team went to Luis Ortiz's gym and sprinkled some shit in his motherfucking squeegee bottle like Panama Lewis used to do his fighters. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's doing that. All I'm saying is Deontay Wilder understood, and his team understood, that this was a risky ass fight, right? Of course, Deontay Wilder continued to say he wanted to fight Luis Ortiz in the media, which he's supposed to do, right? But I think something as small as blood pressure medication could have been worked out. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think Deontay Wilder's team, of course, now again, this is my opinion, I don't think Deontay Wilder's team did everything they could to work this out. And they kind of jumped at the idea of fighting Bermane Stiverne, you know what I'm saying, immediately. Now, we were all set in limbo after, you know, the first failed test, because we were looking for the next one. We're going to see what was the WBC going to say. What was their ruling? You know what I'm saying? And the WBC's ruling was, we just not going to sanction as a title fight. You know what I'm saying? But the promoter still could have talked it out. They still could have done something. If Deontay Wilder really wanted this fight to take place, I'm pretty sure something could have been worked out with the WBC. Again, this is just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Let's listen to another fighter's opinion, Jarrell Miller. Now, I know Jarrell Miller's, he talk a lot of shit, right? And Jarrell Miller has had beef with Deontay Wilder in the past. He showed up on, I think, Shady 45 on the radio. And he said that, you know, he called out Deontay and shit. And Deontay responded, yeah, blah, blah, right? But Jarrell Miller has also called out Luis Ortiz. Now, I don't agree 100% with Jarrell Miller's statement. But I feel him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you why he's not being biased. Let's just get to his statement. Quote, Deontay Wilder is definitely scared of Luis Ortiz. I don't believe that. This is what Jarrell is saying, though. Just by the way he acts. But most of his team is more afraid of Deontay than Deontay is afraid for himself. I do agree with that. Case in point, Lou DiBella consistently and continuously saying everywhere he goes, man, Deontay's crazy as hell. He's fucking crazy. He kept saying that. A nigga keep fucking reiterating how crazy Deontay Wilder is. I'ma think, yo, you worried, my nigga? Why do you gotta keep reiterating that? Of course, Lou DiBella is Deontay's promoter, right? Why you keep reiterating how crazy he is, fam? You scared, bruh? So I agree with that. I think his team was afraid. Or not afraid, but worried. I don't like to say afraid. I think his team was more worried than Deontay was actually worried for himself, right? Most definitely because the team knows how much money they've put behind him already, and they're starting to get those benefits back. Meaning the investment that they put into Deontay Wilder, the investment Al Heyman has put into him, the investment that Lou DiBella has put into him, they're starting to gain money back from those investments, with Deontay Wilder hanging on to the WBC title, getting more popular, and dispatching opponents and getting more title defenses. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's saying right there, and he's absolutely correct. So with them actually getting more money from their investment, this is a high fucking risk for them to take, to put him into the ring with the most, in my opinion, skilled heavyweight in the division. My opinion, in the opinion of other boxing pundits and boxing enthusiasts. It is not a secret that Luis Ortiz is seen as the most skilled heavyweight in the division today. And you're about to put your investment in the ring with this guy, high risk, low reward, right before you're almost guaranteed a very lucrative fight with the most popular heavyweight. You see what I'm saying, people? You got to think about shit. I know y'all want to support Deontay Wilder. I do too. I support the fuck out of Deontay Wilder, especially after he conceded to wanting to take this fight, right? But you got to think when shit happens. I don't believe in fucking coinkadinks. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in coinkadinks. Something just don't smell right here. Alright? Let me get back to his quote. But they know that their biggest payday is with AJ right now. So they'd rather hold out and get that fight. End quote. Jarrell Miller saying exactly what the fuck I think. You know what I'm saying? I think they could have worked it out with the WBC. I think since it's not a SARM, it's not a steroid, it's not anything that increases, blood flow to the muscles, make a nigga all big and strong. You know what I'm saying? It's not anything that allows you to retain more oxygen in your system, so you don't get tired in training, so you're able to train harder. It's nothing like that. So the fact that it's nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? I think, or I feel, in my opinion, Deontay Wilder and his team could have worked something out with the WBC, and we still could have had this fight, and we still could have gone, you know what I'm saying, up into November 4th, looking at one of the most anticipated heavyweight fights of this year. You feel what I'm saying? But I feel he didn't want to do that, him and his team. Maybe not Deontay, but I feel his team didn't want to do that because it gave them the opportunity to hold out and say, fuck it, let's take Bermane Stiverne and get ready for this AJ fight. In my opinion, that's smart because I got Deontay Wilder losing to Luis Ortiz. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of other boxing pundits got him losing to Luis Ortiz as well. So this is a smart move by Deontay's team. He failed a drug test. Say, up. You fucked up, bro. No fight. We'll fight Bermane Stiverne are mandatory now. Somebody we already beat 12 rounds to 0 in our last fight against him. We'll probably knock him out this time around. Understand, Bermane Stiverne has only fought one time since losing Deontay Wilder, right? And that was last year against a whack-ass, bum-ass journeyman by the name of Derek Rossi. And the nigga struggled in that fight. That nigga struggled, B. You see what I'm saying? This is easy work for Deontay. All he got to do is not get caught, because Bermane do got a big punch. But all he got to do is do the same shit he did in the first fight. Bermane Stiverne is still that nigga with no footwork. Nigga stagnant as fuck. We talking about a parked car that's doing a shoulder roll up against the ropes. That's Bermane Stiverne. So all Deontay got to do is do what he did in the first fight. Stay on the outside jab, straight right, all day long from round 1 to round 12. Easy work. 120 to 108. You know what I'm saying? So it's a smart move by Deontay Wilder's team to not argue with the WBC to get this fight made, right? And the fight is mandatory. I don't know, man, but that's the only fishy thing that I think, that don't smell right. It's just Deontay and his team could have worked it out, but they didn't. And according to Jarrell Miller's opinion, like I said, he feels it's because they want to hold out for an AJ fight. 100% agree. They should do it. It's smart. All right, let me know what y'all think, man. Fucking Luis Ortiz, bruh. Nigga, disclose every goddamn thing that you're fucking taking before you get tested, bruh. Disclose everything. And also, back to my point earlier in the video when I said I'll wait until I give my opinion. What I was gonna say was, niggas talking about Luis Ortiz is scared. Luis Ortiz is a fucking Cuban. Cubans are born and bred to fight, the ones that are in boxing, right? Most Cubans don't start boxing late. Some of them do. I think Sullivan Barrera was one of them, one of the Cubans that started boxing late. Don't quote me, but I believe he's one of them. But the majority of them don't start boxing late. They start boxing at an early age, but they spend a lot of their time in the amateur circuit. These niggas will be amateurs until they 30. Case in point, Luis Ortiz. Case in point, Guillermo Rigondeaux, right? You know, Teofilio Stevenson, one of the greatest amateurs of all time, and Felix Savon, the consensus greatest amateur of all time, never even went pro. You see what I'm saying? So Cubans will stay in the amateur system, and they fight all different types of styles, all mean, big, burly, ugly motherfuckers. They fight them all. So they not scared of nobody. So this Luis Ortiz scared of Deontay Wilder is bullshit. Nigga, if I'm not scared of Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz ain't scared of Deontay Wilder. Fuck out of here with that shit, bruh. Come on, man. Just use your head. Yes, Luis Ortiz did fuck up. Yes, the fight is canceled. Yes, I agree with the WBC's ruling. Yes, I do believe Deontay Wilder should have did something to negotiate to get this fight done. But yes, I also agree that they should have held out, fight Bermane Stiverne so they can get an AJ fight or an easy cruise to an AJ fight, because AJ's getting an easy cruise, right, to the Wilder fight. He's fighting Kubrat Pulev, nigga that got knocked out by successive left hooks by slow ass Vladimir Klitschko. So he got an easy cruise to Deontay Wilder. So Deontay Wilder now got an easy cruise. So I do agree that they should have done that. But at the same time, Luis Ortiz is not scared of Deontay Wilder. YouTube, let me know what you think. Do what you do in the comment section. But be real. This is real talk for real fans. 1.